Friends, it's been a while since I last posted a video uh, to share my views on the very many topical issues that have been happening in the country. I had a number of engagements that could not allow me to do that, but I'm glad to report that I am back and we will be sharing our opinions on the topical issues of the day. So today, I will address myself to the issue of government bailouts. Uh, Recently, it was announced that the government will bail out Mr. Tature to the tune of about 240 billion Uganda shillings. And this has raised a number of questions in the public. And I think that it's something that we also need to share our views on. Government bailing out business people in itself is not a bad idea. Actually, responsible governments should do that. The South Koreans cannot allow Samsung to fail because Samsung is a symbol of their economic success. So it's seen as a symbol of national pride. The Chinese cannot allow Huawei to fail. And even the Americans, when there was that economic crash of 2008, 2009, we saw the government come out to bail out the businesses that they felt were too big to fail so that they could keep their economy afloat. So the same principle is applicable in our situation. However, the problem that we have in our country is that everything is done arbitrarily. It is a one-man decision to decide who will benefit, who will not benefit. Around the same time that the Tature bailout was being announced, we had the Binzika poultry company, which is also struggling and is appealing for help. It's the biggest poultry, business that we have in the country. But the government has not deemed it necessary to help them. So why? Why would you help Tature, but you can't help Binzika? And when they are helping Tature, they argue that he employs many Ugandans. But Binzika is also employing many Ugandans. Recently, I think a few years ago, a decision was taken that a Russian company would be hired to make these number plates, motor vehicle number plates. And the decision has a direct implication on the economy because a local company, Tampeco, of Mr. Wavamono, has been in this business for a very long time. Therefore, the decision to outsource to get these number plates from outside means that many Ugandans are going to be laid off. So the question is, why don't they consider those employed by GM Tampeco? We saw the falling of many companies in the past. For example, we had the Sembule Electronics. If Sembule had been helped to keep afloat, today we would be carrying Sembule smartphones because they had ventured into electronics. They were making radios. We all remember every household had a Sembule radio. We even had Sembule TVs. Now, Sembule was supposed to be our Samsung, but government turned the other side and left Sembule to crumble. But when it is Vitature, they are very quick to come in. And this has left a bad taste in the public domain. So what needs to be done? First and foremost, government needs to streamline, set up guidelines or processes of how does one benefit, who qualifies. So today what you have is that government bails out those people it thinks are, helpful in keeping the government in power. So those that benefit are those that have been, the middle class that has been manufactured in the despot's laboratory. So it's a politically cloned middle class, which must be helped at all costs. One, to show that, the president under his rulership, a middle class has evolved. Because he has always said, he's going to create a middle class, which will then help the economy to become more independent. And Vitature is not the first. We saw Basajabaraba. We've seen on many occasions people being given money from the state coffers. But what needs to be done is that, one, there must be a clearly laid down process of who qualifies, so that you don't have to be known to the president for you to benefit, because this is taxpayers' money. It is our money. So the president cannot just spend it on those he loves. We must all have an equal opportunity. Secondly, if there is no regulation, it means that the business owners, the Vitatures, will think that they have access to free money, and they will think that they can use company funds the way they wish, because if it runs down, the state will inject in more money. Yes, government should help the company to keep afloat, but the culprits should be held accountable, so that before a company is used for a bailout, government must go out and find out what was the cause for the losses. If it is the problem of management, then they should be charged for the negligence. If they choose to spend money on themselves, flying out of the country every weekend to go and watch Premier League, if they spend company funds on buying private jets, then they should be held accountable, because the public cannot, shoulder their luxurious lifestyle. And it must make sure that the funds that are given, that are availed, are used for the good, for the greater public good. Otherwise, we are going to have a situation where money is doled out and we become the net losers. We have seen this. We saw this with the TriStar, the AGOA TriStar company, where government injected money. By the end of the day, there isn't much to show for it. We ended up being the net losers. And of course, it shouldn't be lost to us that to expect that this regime can do that is to ask for too much. So this can only be done once the regime has gone, and those who will come will be responsible enough to make sure that justice, is served, because it is unjust that you should push Tampeko under the bridge but allow Vitature to cross over after running down his company. Now, the one you are pushing under has, managed to keep his company afloat. You push him under. And the one who has run down his own company is given public money so that he can sail to the other side. It is injustice. It creates unnecessary animosity within the public, some of whom may begin, to analyze it with, tribal lenses, because unfortunately, most of the people that tend to benefit from these bailouts also happen to be from the West. So it creates a negative impression, which then create tension in a society that could easily erupt and, tear the whole country asunder. So, yes, government can help and should help struggling businesses, but it must be done in, a well spelled out manner that is legally provided for and that is regulated by known institutions, so that everybody can know that if they meet the criteria, then they don't have to have the president's telephone contact in their telephones for them to benefit. Thank you very much.